everyone, and welcome to the Wealthy Lala Show with myself, Laurie Laursen. Today is episode 191. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about really listening to ourselves. And what's really interesting about this is, I heard this stuff, I don't know how many times, meditate, take the time to listen to yourself, journal, go within, sit with yourself. And, honestly, I didn't actually really get it until I started actually doing it. So, do you guys, you know, do you find that it's like we need to actually choose or do something and then we get it? Um, if you were ever a person that was encouraged to listen to yourself as a kid, man, that is freaking awesome. If you had parents that listened to you, that is really not a lot encouraged in our reality to actually take the time to really hear ourselves, hear what we really desire, hear what we really want. It's been much more of a fitting in, wanting to belong, say pleasing others, being a bit of a chameleon. And all of us to a certain extent, right? Have done this, some of us, all varying, we're all on various parts of the scale of this. And I know for me, it was not something I was taught or encouraged at all. But the funny thing is, though, I'm just getting that it was demanded of me when, other people expected that I should know or I should be able to decide. Yet it wasn't a muscle that was actually ever encouraged. Usually whatever it was, whether it was parents, teachers, other adults, even sometimes friends, people wanted us to do what they expected, wanted, liked us to do because it made them feel better. And depending on their position in our life, that would have a big influence. And yeah, I'm just finding that so incredibly fascinating because I know now for myself, the more I take the time to listen or ask questions, check in on the light or heavy, what's true for me. Gosh, the more better my life is. Yeah. And I've met people throughout my life who have a lot more self-assuredness in this area than I have. I'm going to say more than I had. I would say I am pretty good now at having a pretty good idea of what's actually true for me. I still might get uncomfortable. I may not have the muscle of just choosing that with total ease, without even thinking about it. Just, oh, this is what's life for me. Go, oh, this seems fun. I'm choosing it. I still do, one of my capacities is being really aware of other people's universes, what's going on in their world, what they like, what they don't like. Part of that was a huge survival technique that I gathered over the years. Survival in the way that, it created less friction, less upset, less frustration, less, resistance from others if I was aware of what people wanted of me or expected of me or liked of me or preferred of me, and I would choose that. And honestly, I really truly did not get the value in I didn't before. And I get that that's part of my reason for being here too in this lifetime, was to have had an experience where I had so little of it to then go searching for something that I knew was greater than what I was living, to then gosh, going on the search for it and then discovering it, uncovering it. Because it's not something that was never there. It was there all along. It was just covered up by other stuff. Yeah. 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 So how about you? Like, how aware are you of your world? And, where in your life, like there might be one area where like when you're at work, you're like, I'm bang on. I know it's true for me. I know it needs to be done. I feel confident in asking for it, confident in doing it, confident in bringing up new things. And then you might have when you're around certain family members where you're like, I'm 5 again, and you don't have that confidence. Or you might be like with a certain group of friends, you feel really confident. And then another group of friends, not at all, right? So, just noticing these areas, when I look over my life, like there's been some cool things I've chosen and some not so cool things I've chosen. And I loved when I heard, and I'm pretty sure it was Dr. Wayne Dyer that I'd heard it from, whereas like I just desire to be better than I was yesterday. And that I can truly attest to that I am choosing. If I, yeah, if I'd have known what I know now back then, I would have chose different. And choosing what I chose back then created the knowing that I have now. And so I don't get that is anything wrong. So if there's any place that you still judge yourself for, things you've chosen in the past, ask yourself honestly, did it create who you were today, that choice that you made in the past? Whether it was good, bad, or ugly. I'm sure all of us have a few skeletons in our closets or our garages or in our warehouses, you know? And it's funny because what would be judgeable to one person may not at all be judgeable to another. So, you throw that into it too. Yeah. But how do you listen to yourself? Do you meditate? Do you journal? Do you dance? Do you garden and just allow yourself to clear your mind? Do you, in a bunch of the classes over the years I've had where you could like find an object and ask the object. It could be a glass, a painting, you could ask a ring, you could ask a pen, ask it what it has, for you. Yeah, I just wonder. Hmm, I wonder. And, I'm finding for me, the meditations are so incredibly helpful. I've also been choosing the havening a lot lately, this last couple of weeks, the havening method, which is, when you can actually, if you just go on YouTube and havening, Havening, Google that or just search for it on YouTube and they have some different videos. The one with Paul McKenna is the one that I'm finding that I really like. I like because he does the havening, which is the arm where you gently stroke your arms. And then he also has the eye movements. And I've just really found that I've had a few things that have been upsetting for me this last week or two. And so as I choose to do the havening, I allow the charge that comes up to go away. And then from that, once I have the charge go away, then when I just sit with it, I end up getting the wisdom or like what I needed to know underneath it or from behind it. Yeah. It's so funny, this yawning thing. I do actually have a point of view about it. I do have a point of view that I shouldn't be doing it. Because, yeah, whatever I think that is, I guess maybe I'm just aware of what other people might be thinking. Maybe you guys don't actually even care. The fact that I care makes it more of an annoyance than if I just didn't. It's just that I don't just normally sit around doing other things in my day and have yawning. And you know, I can do it first thing in the morning. These shows, I can do them in the afternoon, I can do them in the evening, and it doesn't seem to matter. I still will get the yawning. And on some shows more than others. So I am going to do just what I talked about, and I have a pen in my hand. And I'm going to ask this pen what the yawning is about, and I'm going to see what awareness I get. Okay, so give me 2 seconds here. So pen. What is the yawning? Wow, see, and what I hear is you're just being more space when you choose this. So it's like I'm allowing more space in my body, more relaxation, and my body is just expressing that. And I'm also getting to that it's the energy moving. Like the one thing that I actually do know about myself too is that my voice, I have heard this from others, and I do get this to be true from me, is that my voice is his healing. That the sound of my voice, the tone of my voice, the way I share things. And I wonder, so truth, is it energy moving too? The yawning. See, and I get that as really light. So I felt that as light in my body. So that's another way that I listen to myself too, is by asking questions. And if you guys haven't tried it, oh my God, you know, it's not, again, it's a muscle you build. And, you know, some of you might just have it where you're just like, oh God, I've been doing that for years. And if you have, that is fabulous. And one thing that I'd love to encourage you is to ask more often. Because, you know, we'll often just like pick something, like say, you know, should I go to the city or not, or something like that. And you'll ask, and like, truth, does it create more for me to go to the city? And then we'll get a yes. And then you'll go. Like, you know, we'll do it with things that we're used to making decisions with. But look around in your life. If there's a lot of areas that you're actually stuck and you're in conclusions that you don't even really know that you are. I think it was on Facebook or Instagram today, I saw Dr. Joe Dispenza post something about, you know, by the time we're 35, we are, for the most part, a set of habitual responses. I mean, can you just could you imagine that? Like how many habitual choices, you know, responses do we do in a day that we don't even realize that we're doing? Let's wait here. I'm just seeing if maybe I don't. I was hoping that when I looked on Instagram here that I would actually see it. So darn. Okay. I actually thought that it was going to be something that was going to show up here. But I do know that by the time he says that by the time we're like 35 years old, we are already like a set of conditioned responses, conditioned thoughts. We're like a program or a computer that's already set up and running on the same program. And so I would just love to invite you to ask the universe, God, source, divine, to show you where you're stuck in conclusions or you're functioning from conclusions or decisions or judgments that you don't even realize that you're functioning from. And you can ask for the ones that aren't contributing to you. Like if you're asking for more money, or you're asking for more ease with your body, or you're asking for a relationship, or you're asking for a different job, and you're wondering why it's not showing up, is it possible that you actually have a decision, judgment, or conclusion that you're actually functioning from that doesn't allow you to choose, create, you know, that what you're asking for? And yeah, Yeah, isn't that really cool? Because one of the things that I realized, like I've had some things come up this last little bit, and one thing that I discovered last night with regards to a few people in my life is I was upset when they weren't doing something that I thought that they should be doing. And when I looked at it, I realized that I actually had the conclusion or decision that I had to live up to their expectations. And in me living up to their expectations, which to me, it felt like it was just a gift. Like it's like, oh, they have that expectation of me. I care about them. Sure, I'll do it. And then I realized how angry I'd been that they weren't living up to my expectations. And so I was able to choose the havening method with that, and that's what helped me actually see that. So then I could then look at that and do the havening. The havening, you can do EFT, you can do meditation, you can do whatever works for you. Massage, cranial sacral, bars, whatever works for you. And now I'm able to see that I don't actually have to live up to other people's expectations. And me thinking that had me stuck, and then it had me hurting. So this is what I mean by that. So this is where listening and finding whatever way assists you in listening to you, to your awareness, to your intuition, it can be such a gift to free you of things that aren't working for you so that you can open up space to have the things that you desire to have. So on that note, big hugs to you guys. I went over. You guys have a great one, and have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening. And if you want to contact me, thewealthylala@gmail.com.